Now, it's no surprise that I'm a massive Dragon Quest fan, and I've done countless videos on kind of what I think the future of the Dragon Quest series is, what I want to see in future spin-offs, and I've also wondered what's going to happen after Yuji Horii is gone. But today I'm here to tell you what I'm almost certain is going to happen. I have a very good idea of who's going to be taking over for Yuji Horii after he retires, or worse, passes away, and I'm going to give you his credits so you can see exactly how good of a writer this guy is. If you enjoyed JRPG videos, Dragon Quest videos, top 10 videos, reviews, podcasts, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn notifications to all. Now let's begin. So this guy got his start way back on Dragon Quest IX as the chief scenario planner. And the people who work on Dragon Quest loved his writing so much that they brought him on as the scenario director and writer from that point forward. Even when it came to remakes like Dragon Quest VIII on the 3DS or the Zenithian trilogy on the DS, anytime they needed to flesh out the story a little bit more or add extra story points, he was the guy in charge of things. So if you enjoyed Dragon Quest IX, if you enjoyed any of those remakes, and if you enjoyed, most of all, Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2 story, this is the guy who's going to be taking over. And this is why I think even when Yuji Horii retires, the Dragon Quest franchise has an incredibly bright future. So the person I'm talking about here is Atsushi Narita, and like I said, he started on Dragon Quest IX. He was the chief scenario planner, so all the stories and all the little towns and communities, he had a hand in, if not did them all. His biggest work, of course, in the West would have been Dragon Quest Heroes 2. There's a reason it made #1 on my top 10 Dragon Quest spin-offs video. The storytelling, the characters, everything about that game is incredible. Definitely the best Dragon Quest spin-off in my opinion. I would love to see a Dragon Quest Heroes 3. But that's not all. Something that the West unfortunately hasn't really gotten their hands on much, although I did do a video guide showing how to play it in English for free, is Dragon Quest X. So Dragon Quest X came out about 10 years ago, and the original game, Dragon Quest X, now known as version 1, was written, of course, by Yuji Horii. But every version after that was written by our boy Atsushi Narita. And let me tell you, there is some top-tier storytelling in the Dragon Quest X series. I say Dragon Quest X series because after version 1, of course, there's several different versions. There's versions 1 through 7, and each version is essentially a full-length Dragon Quest game that I think everyone should experience. These games are so well written, so well done, and absolutely incredible. For those of you that don't like MMOs, guess what? I don't either. Dragon Quest X is always a Dragon Quest game first and an MMO a far distant second. The focus is always on the storytelling and the characters and their adventures throughout different worlds, and it's just absolutely incredible. And the man I have to thank behind this is the guy that I'm pretty sure is going to be taking over writing credits after Yuji Horii steps away. So you could tell in version 2 that he was like not super comfortable at the reins. Version 2 is definitely the weakest in my opinion of all of the Dragon Quest X versions. I've only played 1 through 5 so far, but out of all those 5 games, version 2 is definitely the weakest, but even it has some absolutely heart-wrenching moments, absolutely incredible storytelling. It's just the pacing was off. But after that, man, he just took the bar and ran. He was in a full sprint. Everything after that has been absolutely incredible, paying homage to classic Dragon Quest games. This guy knows the feel and charm that the Dragon Quest series is known for, and is just so well at writing stories that really truly feel Dragon Quest, in my opinion. Everything from the characters to the different worlds he has you going to the way you're traversing them, and the way you're interacting, and the quests along the way are all so well done. And I strongly believe that the future of Dragon Quest is going to be very bright even after we lose Yuji Horii at the reins. Like, I'm not gonna lie here, Dragon Quest X versions 3 through 5 have some of the best writing in the entire franchise. It's absolutely insane. One of the more common complaints when it comes to the Dragon Quest series, especially for newcomers, that I hear often is that it focuses too much on like the town stories instead of the overall plot. But Atsushi Narita's writing style is done in a way that incorporates both perfectly. Like, you have your small stories that I love in Dragon Quest that carries you from town to town, makes every town feel like its own unique village, its own unique community with its own unique charms, people, and experiences, but it also always pays tribute to the main story. You always have like a light at the end of the tunnel that you're pushing towards and saving all the towns, communities, and countries in order to reach that goal, and you're almost like always kind of like chasing the main plot. I know sometimes Dragon Quest games will lose the main plot a little bit to focus on the smaller stories, and I do love that, but I honestly appreciate it even more when you can have those small plots always tie in to the main plot. And he does such a really good job with that I think it'll even bring newcomers who haven't checked out the series prior into the series and appreciate it even more. Now, am I saying this guy's gonna be better than Yuji Horii? Absolutely not. I would never say that. Yuji Horii created this franchise that we all know and love. Everything that Atsushi Narita is going to be writing and doing with the franchise is obviously in tribute to and because of the work done by Yuji Horii. But I just want you guys to know that the franchise beyond Yuji Horii is definitely going to be a success. It is definitely in good hands, and I can't feel better than I have now that I've looked into and researched Atsushi Narita. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn notifications to all. You can also check out some of my other videos. I got a ton of Dragon Quest videos, JRPG videos, top 10 videos, and we even have a podcast where we talk about retro games and growing up with all the different retro consoles. So check that out as well, and I will see you guys in the next one.